Welcome, everyone, to The Funny Show. Tonight, we promise you an evening filled with laughter, joy, and a whole lot of fun. I'm your host, Prince Az, the master of ceremonies, the king of comedy, and your guide through this roller coaster of hilarity. And let me tell you, we've got a hilarious show lined up for you tonight. We've pulled out all the stops to bring you the best comedic talent from across the nation. We've scoured the country for the funniest folks around, and believe me, they did not disappoint. These contestants have been handpicked for their wit, charm, and ability to make you laugh until you cry. Get ready to laugh until your sides split, because we have 3 contestants who are ready to tickle your funny bone. Each one of them brings a unique style of humor, from slapstick to stand-up, and everything in between. We've got questions that are so outlandish, so ridiculous, that even I can't wait to hear the answers. These questions are designed to bring out the funniest, most unexpected responses from our contestants. So, without further ado, let's meet our contestants and get this laughter party started. First up, we have Jane, a stand-up comedian from New York, who has been making waves with her sharp wit and hilarious observations. Next, we have Bob, a physical comedian from Los Angeles, known for his slapstick routines and impeccable timing. And last but not least, we have Sarah, an improv artist from Chicago, who can turn any situation into a comedic masterpiece. These 3 contestants are ready to bring their A game and compete for the title of the funniest person in the country. But remember, it's not just about winning, it's about having fun and making everyone laugh. So sit back, relax, and get ready for a night of non-stop laughter. And don't forget, you, the audience, play a crucial role in tonight's show. Your laughter, your cheers, and your applause will help us determine who truly deserves the crown of comedy. So make sure to let your voices be heard. Now let's dive into the first round of questions and see what our contestants have in store for us. Are you ready? Let's get this show on the road and let the laughter begin. First up, we have a lady who claims her hair has a mind of its own. Please welcome Peggy Sue Peroxide. Next, we have a gentleman who believes socks and sandals are the peak of fashion. Put your hands together for the one and only Filbert Flip-Flop. And last but not least, we have a contestant who's convinced she can speak fluent dolphin. Give it up for the amazing Coral Reef. All right, Peggy Sue, you're up first. Tell me, what's the weirdest thing you've ever used as hairspray?
Well, Prince Az, one time I ran out of hairspray at a rodeo, so naturally I used cotton candy. It worked like a charm, but I had a horse try to eat my head all night.
That's fantastic, Peggy Sue. I can only imagine the chaos. Okay, Filbert, get ready because you're next. Filbert, my man, tell me, what's the most embarrassing fashion trend you've ever embraced? Don't hold back.
Prince Az, you might not believe this, but in high school, I was convinced that wearing my underwear on the outside was cool. Let's just say I didn't win any Best Dressed awards that year.
Oh, Filbert, we've all been there. I'm sure you rocked it in your own special way. Coral, get ready because you're about to dive into the deep end with our next question. Section 5, Question 3, Culinary Conundrums. Coral, my dear, what's the most disgusting thing you've ever eaten and actually kind of enjoyed?
Prince Az, once I accidentally ate a bowl of what I thought was pistachio pudding. Turns out it was guacamole. Don't judge me, but it wasn't half bad.
Guacamole pudding? You're braver than you look, Coral.
Okay, Peggy Sue, back to you. Get ready for another round of hilariousness. Section 6, Question 4, Pet Peeves. Peggy Sue, tell me, what's your biggest pet peeve? And I'm not talking about literal pets here.
Prince Az, you won't believe this, but it really grinds my gears when people chew gum with their mouths open. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Makes me want to scream.
I hear you, Peggy Sue. There's nothing worse than a mouth symphony while you're trying to enjoy a quiet moment.
All right, Filbert, you're up. Let's see what makes you tick. Section 7, Question 5, Travel Troubles. Filbert, my friend, tell us about your most disastrous travel experience. We want all the juicy details.
Prince Az, picture this. I'm on a plane headed to Hawaii when suddenly the plane hits turbulence. My toupee flies off and lands in the drink of the passenger next to me. Let's just say I didn't get a lay when we landed.
Oh no, Filbert, that's rough. But hey, at least you provided some in-flight entertainment, right?
Okay, Coral, get ready to ride the wave with our next question. Section 8, Question 6, Childhood Chaos. This is the part of the show where we dive into the hilarious and often embarrassing moments from our contestants' childhoods. Get ready for some laughs. Coral, tell us about the most embarrassing thing you did as a kid. Don't be shy. We all have those moments that make us cringe and laugh at the same time.
Prince Azy, when I was little, I was convinced I could fly like a superhero. I had watched so many cartoons and movies where the heroes would just take off into the sky, and I thought, why not me? So one day, I climbed to the top of my playhouse and jumped off, expecting to soar through the air. I had my cape on and everything, feeling invincible. Let's just say gravity had other plans. Instead of flying, I plummeted straight down. I landed right in a mud puddle. My cape was soaked, and I was covered head to toe in mud. My mom had to hose me down in the backyard before I was allowed back inside.
Oh, Coral, that's priceless. I think we all have a story like that, where our childhood imagination got the best of us.
Oh, Coral, we've all had our superhero aspirations crushed by gravity at some point. It's those moments that make childhood so memorable and fun. Peggy Sue, it's your turn to shine again. We can't wait to hear your story. What childhood chaos do you have to share with us today? Get ready for another knee slapper. These stories remind us that no matter how grown up we get, there's always a part of us that remembers the wild and carefree days of being a kid. Section 9, Question 7, Tech Trauma. Peggy Sue, we've all been there. Technology can be a real pain. Tell us about your biggest tech fail.
Prince Azy, just the other day, I was trying to take a selfie with my new smartphone. I accidentally opened the front-facing camera and screamed, thinking I was looking at a monster. Turns out it was just my reflection after a long day.
Oh, Peggy Sue, you're a riot! We've all been there with those unflattering selfies. Okay, Filbert, get ready to boot up for our next question. Section 10, Question 8, Artistic Atrocities. This is the part of the show where we dive into the most hilariously disastrous attempts at creating art. From botched paintings to sculptures gone wrong, we've seen it all. Filbert, tell us about your most disastrous attempt at art. We know you have a story that will leave us in stitches. We promise not to judge too harshly. After all, art is subjective, right?
Prince Azy, back in my bachelor days, I tried to impress a date by painting her portrait. I thought it would be a romantic gesture, something she would cherish forever. Let's just say, the result looked more like a Picasso than a masterpiece. Her eyes were uneven, her nose was too big, and her smile looked more like a grimace. She politely declined my offer for a second date. I guess my artistic skills weren't as impressive as I thought.
Oh, Filbert, that's a classic. It's always the thought that counts, but sometimes the execution can be a bit off.
A Picasso, you say? Well, Picasso is famous for his abstract art, so maybe you were onto something there. Sounds like you've got abstract art down pat, Filbert. Maybe you should consider a career in modern art. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for questions. But don't worry, we have plenty more laughs and stories coming up. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for. Stay tuned as we reveal the next segment of our show, filled with more hilarious anecdotes and unforgettable moments. You won't want to miss it. After careful consideration and lots of laughs, the winner of tonight's funny show is Peggy Sue Peroxide.
Jumps for joy. Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Congrats, Peggy Sue.
Well-deserved, Peggy Sue.
Congratulations, Peggy Sue. You had us in stitches all night long. And to our amazing contestants, Filbert and Coral, you were all absolutely hilarious. That's all the time we have for tonight, folks. Tune in next week for more laughs and side-splitting fun on The Funny Show. Good night, everyone.